We broke the story last night at 6.
Since then, we learned the crew did not survive. It happened as the FA-18F tried to land at Naval Air Station Key West. 13 News Now military reporter Mike Gooding joins us with more on the official probe.
Well, Janet and Regina, this is, of course, extremely sad with the loss of a pilot and the weapons systems officer. But the important work of finding the cause is very much already underway. It's critical to learn what went wrong in hopes of preventing something like this from ever happening again.
There's value in doing it every time because, you know, sometimes it's just not going to be your day. Doesn't matter how professional you are, doesn't matter how good you are in the airplane, it may not be your day and the airplane may fail for some reason.
Retired Vice Admiral John Mazak has been involved in more than 24 mishap investigation board inquiries through the years. He says they're sad, but they must be done, and they're methodical. And he says that will be the case with the FA-18F Super Hornet from VFA 213 that went down yesterday in the waters off Key West. Mazak is a former Hornet pilot and commander of Naval Air Force Atlantic. He says it's critical to learn everything possible from this and every aviation mishap.
Because the idea is to get to this many accidents per flight.
Overall, the naval aviation safety record today is very good, especially compared to the 1950s and 60s. As far as the Hornet, the Naval Safety Center says the last aviator mishap death was in 2016, involving a Marine flying an FA-18C with the Blue Angels. And here locally, the last aviation fatality was in 2014 when 3 air crewmen died in an MH-53E Sea Dragon helo crash in the Atlantic.
Over the years, I say the Navy has made a huge amount of progress in trying to understand why accidents happen and what can be done to prevent them.
And the Navy says that the families of the pilot and the weapons systems officer have been notified. We're expecting to learn the names of the deceased at 10 o'clock tonight. Also, the Navy says the VFA 213, their squadron, is scheduled to complete its training in Key West on March 21st, and then they'll return to Oceana. Reporting live, Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.
The two-seater FA-18F first took flight in 1995. It wasn't until 2001 when the first Super Hornet was assigned, first flying with VFA 115 out of Lemoore, cruising aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. Each $57 million jet can fly nearly twice the speed of sound and has a range around 1,900 miles. That's roughly the distance from Norfolk to Salt Lake City. And this isn't the first mishap involving the FA-18F. Back in 2016, 2 Oceana-based jets collided off the coast of Cape Hatteras. All 4 crew members survived. In 2011, a Super Hornet crashed near NAS Lemoore. 2 crew members died.